Hi everyone, so today we're looking at handmade envelopes. I've been researching this for a couple of weeks and especially coming up towards Christmas, I think a pretty envelope is really nice. This one is very fussy, so you'd have to put a label on it if you're going to send it through the post, but I tend to save my decorative envelopes for when I'm going to give to someone a special card. So this is a standard A6 envelope, and today we're going to look at 6x6 envelopes and the standard A6. Okay, so you'll be pleased to know there's no measuring. What I've done is taken a standard envelope. Often in your stash you've got envelopes that have been bent or anything like that, messed up, so use those. Now what I'm going to do is to go into the corner, forgive the finger, I had an argument with a guillotine. So I'm going to go in the corner, get my bone folder or anything and just gently tease up where it's joined. Right. So start at the bottom, ease up. You can use anything you like, try to keep it from ripping. Ease that one out a bit, it's very stuck. Okay, and here we have our template for our envelope. Okay, so this in itself is very flimsy, so what I have done then is either I can place this onto a piece of card, any old cereal box or anything like that, stick it down and then cut it out. The durable way of doing it is I've taken the same envelope and I've actually put it through a laminator, so this is now really sturdy. Okay, so we'll have a look at the finer points of that in a minute, but I'm going to look, this is a fairly strong piece of double-sided paper that I probably won't use. Okay, so I'm going to spray it with an adhesive. You can use wet glue or anything that you like. Now, this shape is based on a square. So what I'm going to do is take my craft knife or my scissors, and first of all I'm going to cut it out along the straight edges, very quick and easy. Be accurate with your cutting, because this is a template that you will keep. So I'm going to go along there, and I can get rid of these bits. Now we're left with these corner bits here, little notches. I'm going to get rid of that, and just rounding off the ends. So I'm going to take my scissors, round the ends off. This particular envelope has a straight edge on there, so I don't need to do that. Now when you get to these notches, it's important that you have an accurate notch. So I'm going to cut in to the point, turn it round and cut down to the point. Alright, try not to come in and then turn your scissors, because you won't get a nice smooth point. So I'm going to go all the way around, taking off the notches. Okay. So there is my template. It's fairly rigid. Get rid of that. And I'm going to look at this side. Okay, it's quite good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to take a piece of paper, pretty paper. Right, I'm going to place this, and I can place it so that two lines match up. Okay, I'm going to take my pencil then, and I'm going to go all the way around. And then just do the notches in the corner there. So there is my piece of paper for my envelope. So I'm now going to cut round. Always cut on past your line, right, because then you'll get nice crisp corners. Cut on past. Right, I'm going to cut in to there, and cut round on that one. Now I'm going to go back to my craft knife and do the notches with my craft knife, because I will get them really accurate. Okay. Right into the corner. Okay, so I've got all my corners done and these bits. Right, now I need to come in with my scoreboard. So here's my scoreboard, and on my scoreboard I've actually put these dark lines every 5 centimeters, because it helps me when I'm doing my card making. So I'm going to take any of the lines, and I'm going to line up this notch here with the center of my cut there. I'm going to swivel round until the middle of this cut is lined up, and gently score down. Turn it round, line that one up, swivel. Always go back and check that it hasn't moved at the top. Yeah, turn round. And then turn round. There we go. So now we have this bit. This is my top flap. These are the side pieces, and this is the bottom bit. So I'm going to fold my side pieces in. fold the bottom up. Look how neatly that comes together. And we're going to take this one and fold it down. Okay. So there is my envelope. All I need to do in a minute is add some glue there. But there's one extra thing that we're going to do on this one. What I've done when I've made my envelope template, I've taken an extra envelope. Let's go to the corner. It's very difficult without all your fingers. So this one, I want a template for the liner to go in my envelope. So I'm simply going to use my template. I'm going to trim off a little bit from the side there, trim off a little bit from the side there, trim off. There's no set measurement, just make it a bit smaller. Now with this bit, because I want it to fit in there, I'm going to trim off a small bit off here. So off both sides of the point. And then this is my template for every liner that I put in with this one. So let's see if I can find, let's see what colour we've got. We've got pink. Okay, I found myself a piece of pink. So I'm going to line that up with a couple of the sides. And I'm going to mark with my pencil all the way around. So that is going to be my liner. There is my liner. Turn it round so the points match. I'm going to fold the sides in. Let's just even that up a bit, and I think I will just round that corner off. Good. So I'm going to fold these in. A little bit of glue, whatever glue you like. Fold it up. There is my lovely envelope. I slide in the liner, and then all I want to do is to put a little bit of glue to hold that over, and I will just fold it down and burnish. Right, there's one other thing that I like to do, and that is to take some double-sided tape. Can be any sort that you have to hand, and I like to prepare my envelope ready for use with the double-sided tape. So there is my envelope, all lined and ready for my card to go in. Here's the one here. This was double-sided paper, so I didn't need to line this one, but I've still put the double-sided tape up there so it's ready to use. Okay, we'll pop those to one side for the moment. So that is from an A6 envelope, and I've used two, one to make the outside stencil and one to make the little bit that goes in as a liner. So that is optional, but very good doing it that way. Now let's take a look at the 6x6, and this one I have done and laminated. Sorry, that's a laminated A6 one. So this is the 6x6. Okay, and what I've done is prepared the same thing. So I've taken two 6x6 envelopes, I've cut my panel out to be a liner, and then I'm almost ready to finish this one. So I've taken off two notches, but I've got two more notches to take out, and that can be easily done with a knife or your scissors, but do make sure that you've got a nice point on these notches. Okay, so all of those are done. I'm going to bring in this one here. Now, it's a nice piece of paper, but it was one of a cover on a pad of paper. So yes, I'd like my outside to be of this, but I don't want anybody to see that it was part of the advertising on the outside. So let's take this. I'm going to take this and line up two edges. Take my pencil and carefully go around. Because I've laminated it, it is fairly strong and I can really push up against it. Just take that bit off there. Right. First of all, again, it's based on a square piece of paper, so I can take this and cut the edges really easily. When you realise how quickly you can make up envelopes, then it's really good fun. So I'm now going to go and take off all the corners. And then I'm coming back to my knife, and I'm just going to take out these little notches. Last one. Good. Right, scoreboard comes in, and we go for the black lines, line up the notch, line up the notch, and turn round. Okay, line up the notches and go back and check that the top one hasn't moved. There, swing round. And swing round. Okay, so I'm going to take my side pieces in. Take the bottom bit up through, and this will be my top that'll come down. Beautiful 6x6 envelope. So I'm going to take my adhesive, come down and stick that up. There's my pocket for my envelope. Okay, and if we come back to this one, this is my other envelope that I've cut up and just made it slightly smaller right on the inside. So I now have, I think we'll go for the dark purple. Turn it round to that side so I can see what I'm drawing. There we go. Use a trimmer or knife and ruler, and do your straight edges. Make it easy on yourself. There, and then you can just go back in and just trim around the top. Okay. Don't need to glue the whole piece. I'm going to take this in now, slide it in right to the bottom and line up the top. Move that over a fraction. There we go. And this time I'm going to just take ordinary double-sided tape. Okay, and then I'm just going to prepare this one. And I'm going to fold down and burnish. There is my beautiful lined envelope all ready to go with the card. I put the card in. Nice and pale on the outside, so I could manage to write onto that. But this is all made from just using scrap envelopes. So here's the A6. And I've taken the A6 envelope, made a template, no measuring. Right. And the same, I've taken a 6x6 envelope, again, no measuring. Use the template every time that you want to make an envelope. Okay, so have fun and God bless you all.